On December the 26th, 2004, a tsunami struck South Asia, killing hundreds of thousands of people. And I believe at that time most people were not even familiar with the word tsunami. But in the next few days, in the weeks and the months since, the whole world knows what a tsunami is and the destruction that can occur within minutes of those waves hitting the shore. Samaritans Purse responded to South Asia, one of the largest relief efforts that we've ever had in all of our history. And I'd like to take the next few moments and just share with you what God has been doing and how men and women like yourself can be involved still today, helping the people that have been affected by this great natural disaster. Let's watch and let's see what God is doing.
Mightier than the thunders of many waters, mightier than the waves of the sea, the Lord on high is mighty.
Perhaps there is no better way to show the love of Christ than to work to restore personal loss and bring hope and healing to those scarred by disaster.
I couldn't believe my eyes. The sea, the water just gushing through. It was so fast. The level of the water was so high. I saw people floating on the water, crying for their life.
Few will ever forget the events of December 26, 2004. It is estimated that over 200,000 people lost their lives, while over 1 million survivors struggled to find basic needs like shelter, food, and safe water. In just mere seconds, families were ripped apart. Mothers lost children, husbands lost wives, children lost parents, churches lost members.
We lost 50 members of our church in tsunami.
Callistus Gomez pastors a church within eyesight of the beach in Kalmenai, Sri Lanka. Half of the members he lost that day were children.
Oshin, Shankar, Thawamalar, Sudha. Seeing the things that has already happened, one can easily come to a conclusion, there is no God. And God has abandoned us. But I could see God is in control over everything.
After the tsunami, Samaritans Purse relief teams arrived and began to reach the hardest hit areas. In the United States, the first wave of compassion was being packed into this huge 747 cargo jet. Over 100 tons of emergency supplies and equipment.
Many of the items that are on the aircraft are things that cannot be purchased locally. We have plastic sheeting that will provide emergency shelter. We have medical supplies and food, and many things that are critical to a relief effort like this.
Samaritans Purse is working with volunteers. We're working with Christian groups that have come from other countries. We're working with the Alliance of Evangelicals here in this country. Everywhere you go, people want to know what you've come to do. We've come to help, and we've come to help in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
The initial stage, of course, was the emergency stage. We hit the ground. We had to do emergency evacuations in some areas. We had to do temporary shelter. We had to do feeding programs. But we're at an exciting stage now because we're doing primarily development work. We're involved in constructing houses. We're involved in constructing in schools. We're also involved in agriculture, where we're growing rubber plants. We're also involved in an exciting vocational training center where some of these women that have lost everything, they've lost all their families, they've lost their children, their husbands, they're able to learn a trade and be able to, eventually, our goal is for them to be able to take care of themselves.
Rahimi Sulaiman is a single mother who lost her home when the tsunami first hit the shores of Indonesia. Rahimi's family is one of 50 families in this village who have received a new home.
I would like to say thank you to Samaritans Purse because they gave us this permanent house, and we are really grateful for this house.
Everything around us, Samaritans Purse built. Warehouses, workshops, houses, everything. We had to start basically from a blank page. There was absolutely nothing here. Everything was wiped out.
Samaritans Purse construction teams are working hard all across Indonesia and Sri Lanka to finish building over 3,000 of these permanent homes. Homes that will help rebuild communities.
They're extremely excited to get back here and really start becoming a community again, become family again, because healing begins when they can come back together as a family.
Samaritans Purse continues to reach into many areas of need, like providing safe drinking water to thousands.
This water plant produces 175,000 liters every day and helps approximately 15,000 people have water to cook with, to drink every day.
I can say the people in town here never had as good water than they have now.
The provision of clean water from the Kitandi Lagoon treatment plant has produced a chain reaction of God's love that reaches into these lives on a daily basis.
The water is very important, but we want to touch their hearts.
The tsunami not only took lives, it took livelihoods. Thousands of boats and fishing nets were destroyed in an area of the world that depends heavily on the fishing industry. Samaritans Purse recognized this need and has replaced hundreds of boats and fishing nets along the shores of Sri Lanka, India, and Indonesia. Uthaya lost his boat and his occupation in the tsunami.
It was a surprise to me that someone would give us high-quality canoes. Samaritans Purse has donated 20 of these boats to our fishermen in this area.
Imagine being a child and losing everything you have, including your home, in the tsunami. 3-year-old Sadushan and his family ran from the wave that Christmas weekend. Everything they owned was washed away. In an unprecedented effort, Samaritans Purse and Operation Christmas Child put out the call to have an early Christmas for the children of the tsunami in the summer of 2005.
These boxes right here are going to go to the children who are really the survivors, the victims of the tsunami. Many of these children are orphaned. They've really suffered a lot.
Sadushan was happy to receive one of the 270,000 Operation Christmas Child shoeboxes collected just for them. A simple gift which allowed God's love to break through and his wave of compassion to reach these children.
My children lost everything. They lost all their toys. But now, because of the shoeboxes, they're joyful to spend their time playing again.
Across the shores of the tsunami nations, Samaritans Purse is working hard to bring in the waves of compassion.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you!
One of the things that Samaritans Purse has done is brought back into their life some sense of love and concern and compassion generated from God's people around the world.
As a Sri Lankan, thank you for what you are doing. I'm really grateful to Samaritan Purse. They are doing a great job here. They have dedicated their lives to show that there is a God who could love us, who could care for us.